Hey, 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 family. How are you? How are you? How are you this evening, this afternoon? Smuggling which is not working. Let's see here. Excuse us while we go live here. All right, all right, all right. I'm trying to, my dear. It's not working. Blurred. Okay. There we go. All right, all right, all right. Join us tonight as we are live, live, live. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, not Instagram online, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. So if you are joining us tonight, it is going to be a good special treat. um, if you are single or engaged, put a 1 in the comments and let us know where you are joining from. If you are married and on this live, put a 2 in the comments and let us know where you're joining from. If you are catching the replay, please do the same. Let us know where you're joining from tonight and let us know if you are single or engaged, 1, and if you are married, 2. So again, we want to thank you all for joining tonight. Please share this broadcast. If you know someone that is single, excuse us. If you know someone that is single and that desire to be married, that desire to do marriage God's way, please share this broadcast with them. It is truly going to be a treat. I know. Hello from Oregon. Nice to meet you. Nice to have you on tonight. If you know, if you've ever been single, if you're married already and you've been single and you went through that single phase, you know that being single sometimes can have its challenges, especially if you are trying to do it God's way. I know for us, my singleness looked a little different. So I will get into that. But what do you think about being single in today's time, William?
Honestly, being single today is a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress because we never been taught, we never been prepared, we never been trained.
Mhm.
Nobody ever taught us what it is to be single, how to embrace singleness. Like
Mhm.
so, today we're gonna try to, with the to the best of our abilities, to
Yes.
just debunk all this and give you guys the right information.
Yes. So
So
please share, share, share. If you have any questions about being single and how to be single um today, what does that engagement look like? What does those first few years of marriage look like? If that would be something that you guys would be interested in taking a course or having some resources on this, let William and I know. We're working on some things, but we want to make sure that is what you need. So please reach out to us and let us know if you need some resources on how to be single as a young Christian or believer, knowing that you want to keep yourself, you want to honor your beliefs, but you want to date as well. William and I didn't really date because we got married in 46 days. So that's a story for another day. But the first topic we want to talk about is how to be single as a Christian, as a believer. First and foremost, for me, I think it's very important that you've already set standards and goals and you know what you want. And it's very important to know who you are before you attempt to even start dating, because what you'll do is you'll start having dates. You'll be a serial dater, you know, and they won't go anywhere. And so you want to make sure that um you're dating with a purpose. You're not just throwing yourself out there with the wind. What you think, William?
I mean, dating itself is a duty. So when you enter that phase of dating, you have to make sure you really work around
Mhm.
the dating. What are you looking for in dating? What are you looking
Mhm.
for in a mate? what are you willing to compromise?
Mm.
Because dating is also about compromising.
Mhm.
But dating is giving you a glimpse of what you're going to get in the marriage.
Not necessarily.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
Because generally we have representatives that show up for dates.
I'm talking about
when we get married.
Okay, but I'm talking, you know, but not now. Now we're talking.
Hey, I'm gonna just open the door because I want y'all to know it's, you know, you sometimes men show up and they don't really, they're not really what we thinking they are.
Okay. We installed our concept with the girls where I take the girls on a date, but I don't court them. You know, I don't court them because that's different. I court you, but I can court them, but I can date them.
Okay.
So dating shows you what you get in the relationship. Let's say, I'm giving you an example.
Listen,
I'm giving you an example.
I've been on some dates and
unfortunately, you know, when you because you have cheaters. Okay, they don't date the right way.
Okay.
I'm an old school guy, so when I date, I put everything, I invest everything. You love to dance, I love to dance. We go find a place, we dance.
Okay.
If there's no place open, what do? We dance in the street with whatever there's a music going on. We're just going to dance. To me, that's dating. Okay. Because you have, like you said, some people that show you something, and then in relationship they're just different. Okay, these are cheaters. These are the people that go
that's not willing to, they're not ready to commit.
No.
Okay.
They don't date with sole purpose to get to know the person. But how do you know this person is the one that you want to be with if they're faking? You know what I'm saying? So with you, I know, yes, we didn't date because we were living in two separate cities. However, I was calling you over the phone every day.
Child, today.
Okay. Because in courting, you expose your mindset. Okay. In dating, you expose your soul because now I can read you. I can see you. So when I do the right thing, when I go through the proper training in the gym, that's what I become a champ.
Okay.
Okay. The courting scenery just reveal the husband that I became in the lab. So to me, dating prepares you or shows you, it's supposed to show you what you're gonna get in a relationship.
You know, I know, and it's maybe, well, it's not off topic. I know some of you, you know, everybody's on social media, and you may have seen recently where,
bless you,
excuse me, where the young lady had a problem because the guy was taking her to the Cheesecake Factory. I think in that situation, she should have set her standards before they ever even set a date, before they had ever even made those arrangements. I think she should have known where she was going before she committed to go on this date with this gentleman. However, I think the way she went by that was not proper. She was not respectful. She wasn't tactful. She was doing it, I think, for the clout, for the attention. And so I would say to women that if you are looking at just to go out and just have a good dinner, say that. If you want to just have fun, say that. So going back to what my original point was, it's how to be single as a Christian. How do you prepare yourself for the next phase if you are trying to do marriage God's way? If you're going to be walking in your singleness as a Christian and trying to date with a purpose, then you need to make sure that your standards are set before you embark upon. You need to make sure that it's very clear to the young man that you're going out with what you want and what you don't want, what you're willing to do and not willing to do. And the same thing for him. He should set those standards in the beginning. He should make sure that it is very clear on what he wants and what he does not want, what he's willing to deal with and not deal with. And so I just want to encourage you to make sure that you are doing this the right way. You want to always make sure that you're treating people the way you want to be treated. Be respectful, be honorable, walk in integrity. Be honest and transparent. I think for William and I, that was one of the biggest things for us. It's the transparency and being honest, even when we really didn't want to.
Yeah.
Even when we really didn't want to, because, okay, so I'll say for me, I had over $100,000 in school loan debt with undergrad and partially through with my master's degree. And so I needed to let him know what he was walking into, because him walking into this relationship with me meaning that he was now going to be over $100,000 in debt.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to express that to him, but to express it to him. That was a very heavy topic, but I needed to make sure, if you're going to commit to this, you need to know what you're walking into.
To me, I was an undocumented, so didn't have paperwork. But I have to be honest. I have to be, because that's my main goal. Always do your best to give people what you would like to get from them.
Right. It's important.
The golden rule.
It's very important.
And I talked to my pastor then. It was like, son, you got to be honest with her. You got to let her know. You got to put her on the table. Hey, if we get married, understand that for a while, until I get the paperwork, you will be the person holding the family.
Right.
You'll be the breadwinner. You would, and we talk about it. The good part with Nikia, the easy part was that Nikia has always been a person willing to receive, and she's not shy, to tell you how she feels about things. So right there, yeah, we talk about it, and then she talked to my pastor, and I had a conversation with her pastor as well, and from there we went. But I knew I was going to be the new owner of over $100,000. $100,000
in
debt.
School loan debt. Yes. And debt is debt. It doesn't matter where it comes from, but he was going to have to carry that load with me. And so, you want to make sure that you have those type of discussions. If you are not on our email list, we're doing a series on things that we wish we knew before we said I do. Please put in the comments interested, so that we can send you the link, so you can sign up, so you can be getting the education and the information on that, because it's very important that you know how to communicate and communicate well. I needed to express to William a thing, but if I was too afraid and fearful that if I told him this, he would run away, then I was going to be in a pickle. But I had to chance that. I had to take that opportunity and say, if I tell him this and he feels like that's too much for him, I have to be willing and willing to accept this, and I need to be okay with whatever happens. Most of the time, we are not willing to be open and transparent because we don't want to run the risk of losing. We're not willing to run the risk of them making the decision to say, I don't want to do this. But you have to give them that choice. Siri, we are not talking to you. We have to be willing to give them that choice. You don't take a person's choice away because you feel like it may be too heavy for you. That's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. So please make sure that you are being open and transparent, being honest all the time, walk in integrity. As a believer, if you're going to do this thing God's way, you need to make sure that you are being the light that you are, and not being wishy-washy, as I would say. I know when William and I decided to go into this marriage, our commitment was not to sleep with each other before we said I do. Not to sleep with each other, meaning not to have relations with one another before we said I do. Now, mind you, we married quickly. However, the flesh still was the flesh. And so even what prior in relationships we're in, both of us are Christians. We've been Christians for a very long time, been believers in the church, active in the church, but we both got into relationships, and that's what we desired, and we failed. So I encourage you to make sure that if you know this is not what you want to do, if you don't want to compromise your body, then don't put yourself in situations where you can compromise. Don't go places where you know that the two of you can be alone and you expose yourself.
Especially when you guys don't know each other. Most women can go the distance. Most women. I won't say all of them, but most women like you. Come on. When we talk about, making sure that you're not falling, you're not slipping, you were willing to go the distance, and we did it. Yeah, we did it not because of my will, but because I tried to get them to have my way, but you're like, no, because that's something we already discussed prior. We were no longer virgin. However, we wanted to do God's way. And that's the key.
Yes.
The key to the success of our relationship is that we're doing it God's way, not our way. Now, that doesn't mean that Nikki and I, we didn't have, our moments where she wants to pull the bed sheet on her side and I want to pull my side. No. There's no perfection. There's no 10 out of 10. That doesn't exist. Not on this side of the world. However, you can work on becoming a 7 and 8. Okay, 9 is below perfection. That's reachable. That's reachable. But I don't know if any couple ever reached that potential to check mark the 9, the below perfection.
I don't know. I hope so. I hope so.
We get there. By the time we make it 50, we get there.
I think so. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions, please put the questions in the comments, and we'll come back to the questions at the end. Okay. I know we have somebody on TikTok with something. We'll pull you on in just a little bit. Okay. So that we can do the questions all at one time. Make it a little easier. Okay. So, but you want to make sure though, with you saying that, is you want to put your best foot forward. Do you commit to say, okay, we're going to do this thing. We're going to date for 6 months, and then we're going to decide on what we're going to do. Or we're going to date for a year, and then we're going to decide if we're going to take the relationship to the next level. But I say this, and William, I need you to tell me if I'm wrong or not. Men generally know what they want. They will prolong it when they're still looking for something else. So when you have guys that's generally staying around a little longer, and the woman is ready, but he's not ready to really commit, he's not ready to take the relationship to the next level, he's lingering around because he's really not sure if you're it. Maybe somebody else may come through and they might be it.
And decisive. And decisive.
But I mean, am I lying? No, it's you guys are not you. It's like, if I commit to this one and then my girl really come around, then what I'm gonna do?
But you know,
But men generally know what they want when they want it. And if they don't commit to it, that mean they really ain't wanting you.
no, I mean, I can't push back to this one.
Really?
Yeah, because
I'm not feeling it, y'all.
because
Somebody help me here because
no. I mean, undecisive would be the word. Okay, let me explain. You show me some traits. You know, along the way, I see some different. Okay, and maybe what you show me is your true you in the beginning. Okay, that keeps me longer there. And then you show some different, maybe because of the new accommodation or something like that. You need to you need to find your mark. There's a new thing in your, oh, let's say there's a hair in your soup. Okay, yeah, because having somebody new in your environment, in your circle, it's a little uncomfortable. You know, even after 5-10 years of marriage, you still find some area where it's uncomfortable. I spoke with some people where they never seen each other using the bathroom. Never. You know,
a little TikTok video where they hand the tissue.
Yeah,
and they hand the tissue. And they're all the way in the bathroom. Hey, baby, what you doing? That's
they're still not,
almost 9 years in.
Yeah, they're still not comfortable. You have some people, even after 3 years, they still don't shower together. The woman has a way to do what they call the toilet. They clean this. I mean, the husband can see those things. So I'm comfortable with that. Me and you, that is no, and you can't say this is wrong. That's just, it's not there yet. So when a man is not there yet, or I saw something, she might be the one.
But how long does it take you to know if she the one?
Nikia, if he never did what I did, it would take a little bit longer.
What's a little bit longer? 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years,
10 years. The kid, you have relationship, people spend 6 years to 10 years.
No, sir.
Before they say I do.
No, I'm not committing to anybody for 10 years.
It took me 3 days to know you were the one.
But our case is a whole different case. That's a whole different case.
That's what I'm saying. If you already know before anything, look.
But even what you're saying that then, so that means that because you knew exactly what you wanted, and that's what I think is missing when it comes to dating, when it comes to preparing for marriage or going into a relationship. We're going in and we don't know what we want. You need to know what you want before you even start this process.
And even beyond what you want, what do you need?
Okay. Right, but can you at least know what you want?
The one pleases you.
I want a man that look good.
Yeah. It's okay. The one pleases you. The need grow you. So do you want to be pleased or you want to grow?
Can I get both?
You can.
Okay, I just want to.
You can. Okay, but you want to grow. You want to become. That's the main goal. A lot of people fall for the want. So just being pleased. I want, like I was telling to our daughters. What did I tell them? Men will sleep with the beauty, but then we marry the character because the character grow. My thing. 7 years before I met you, I said, I need a certain type of DNA.
You already had a criteria.
Yes.
Okay.
That's very important. I knew that I wanted a woman who was the third generation of preaching. I wanted a woman that has a personal relationship with God. I wanted a woman who can share the same birthday with me. Born on the same day. That was the criteria. Why? Because I know I know what I have inside me.
Mhm.
I needed somebody that can understand that.
Mhm.
I need somebody that can help me pull those things out.
Mhm.
What type of woman do I need for to carry my seed?
Mhm.
Because I'm bringing forth generation of people that's going to look like me.
Mm. And even with saying that, so this looks the same for if you are single, never been in a relationship, never been married before. If you are now divorced and you're going through your singleness and having to do this again, it's the same thing. You still have things that you are looking for. If you've been married before and you're now walking in your singleness, all you need to do now is go back and revamp. You need to reevaluate the thing that ended that last relationship. What happened in your marriage that caused you to be here? And so what you need to do is you need to sit down and spend some time with God and allow him to minister to you and to enlighten you so that you are equipped and you know the things that you want and need to go forward. It's very important that you make sure you are doing this God's way. I thought I was doing it God's way and I wasn't. William thought he was doing it God's way and he wasn't. We were how many months in before we was actually doing it God's way? And still learning, still unfolding, still developing, still getting revelation of how to do this God's way. But it's very important that you don't compromise your standard.
That's the key. Do
not compromise your standards. I don't care who he is, how good he looks, how much money he got in the bank, how good he smells. Do not compromise your standards for your flesh.
That's the key. But that's the reason why I say what you're looking for, is it a want or a need?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, a want is important,
Mm-hmm.
but the need is both important
Mm-hmm.
and necessary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, the want is important. It's good. It's important to have a car. That's a want. Okay, but that want can be translated to a need. Because it brings a value.
Yes.
Okay, possessing a house. Do I really want a BMW, or I just need a good Chevy? You know what I'm saying? Because you want a BMW, but you have to factorize the car note, the car insurance, and all this is different. You know what I'm saying? So you want to grow, and if you want to grow, you go with the need. You want to have your need met and covered. So to me, that was very necessary. That was the key element right there. So when I say it took me 3 days, it didn't really, in fact, take it took 3 days to decide. It took me 7 years and 30 days. It was 7 years and 30 days.
That was your preparation, huh?
Yeah. My decision was made 7 years and 30 days.
Yeah, but in between those 7 years,
I did it.
Right.
I met women, but I've always
and you were in committed relationships.
But I've always knew that they were now, because I was engaged twice.
But you knew. We're not even going to talk about
I knew.
So you were engaged. You knew that they were not the criteria because they were not what you prayed for. But yet you were going to commit to these women. See what I'm talking about? So it goes back to what I said earlier.
Ask me why. Ask me why.
So it goes back to what I said earlier.
Now, why is that?
Why, William?
Because even when if you don't walk in your character, the unknown will lead you to make decision based on what you see naturally.
So it goes back to doing marriage God's way. You weren't trying to do it God's way. You seeing that you had a situation. Yes, you loved, you cared about these women, but you had a situation. And in order to resolve the situation, you needed to take the relationship to the next step. But every time you would try to take it to the next step, something would come into place that you wouldn't be able to do.
No, I was trying to do the God's way. However, I was trying to put a little my way in there. You know what I'm saying?
You were compromising.
No, yeah.
You were compromising and you were settling. Agree. Agree. Somebody put compromise and settling in the comments. Compromise. He was compromising. We've had all compromised.
Never thought about it.
Compromising and settling, baby, will get you into some situations and you wake up like, what did I do here?
I mean, you can settle for the good face, you can settle for the six-pack, you can settle.
But when you wake up on the side of them,
you know what I'm saying? But
tell God thank you. Tell him thank you. Look, if you are just joining us, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you. Please give us some hearts and some likes and some thumbs up. Please like and share. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow our page. We are talking about, we're really discussing the singleness and what that looks like when you're engaged before you say I do. What do that look like? You know, one of the biggest things for me that I really wish I knew before I said I do, William, and this was from my first marriage even to this one, was knowing who I was in totality. In my first marriage, I was 17 years old, and I was clueless. All I knew is I was in love. That was it. I was in love, and that my world was just there. It didn't go no further than that. That was it. And so I didn't know who I was as a woman. I didn't know who I was as a child of God. And so what I did, I just went gung-ho in. And I just lost myself completely in my husband. And I didn't know who Nakia was. I had no identity. I really didn't. And it was just all him. And that's all good and dandy if we were engulfed into each other. We were not becoming the one. It was still off. And so are you going to be required to change when you marry? Yes. Are you going to be required to make some adjustments? Yes. You're going to have to adapt and all of those things. But I didn't know who I was. All I knew was this is what he wanted and what he desired. And we just went head on in. I didn't know my place in it. I just followed along. And so it's very important for you as the man or the woman to know your identity, know who you are before you get into serious relationships. You need to know what you bring to the table, what you have to offer. What are you willing to commit and not to commit? You need to know your place in the relationship. Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a heart? It's important that you know that. William, what's the one thing out of all of the things that you wish you knew? What's the one thing you wish you knew before you said, ta-da?
Communication.
You wish you knew how to communicate?
Yeah. Because I've always been a talker. I've always knew what to say. But I never really knew how to say it and when to say it.
Okay.
So even though the intent was always right, no, the intent was right 90% of the time. The delivery was wrong. You know, I remember I almost got stabbed by my ex because she came and asked me, she's like, hey, baby, do you think I'm fat? I say, yes, you're fat. I didn't think about it. To me, it was, yeah, you're honest. And what I didn't realize is
water that honesty down a little bit.
Honesty
He really wasn't looking for honesty at that
Yeah.
point.
I mean, honesty, if it's not led by humility, it's a heartbreaking tool. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna tell the woman, yeah, she fat. Really, Beth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was like, man, I'm just being honest. You know, but that was okay. That was the way I always wanted people to be with me,
Mm-hmm.
because I have no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
If I stink, tell me I stink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was me. However, being honest and humble is factorizing
Mm-hmm.
the other person's feelings.
Right. Because you didn't consider her feelings in the
No.
matter. You were being honest, but you didn't consider how she's going to receive that.
Yeah. But it's like the mistake that we do in loving. Okay. What I've learned, what I've learned years later after we got married is, even though I loved you, okay, I loved you wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, because what you were doing, you were loving me like you loved sister so and sister so and so prior, but you weren't loving me the way I needed to be loved.
You know, maybe even loving so and so. It was just like I was loving you the way
you wanted.
I wanted to love you, the way I believe. You know, it's just, oh, I love you, instead of, hey, how do you want to be loved? What makes you tickle the right way? What makes you want to, you know, just drop it and fall in my arms? That's the perfect way, the right way, the only way to love. Because God doesn't love us how he wants to love. Because God's made us individually. So he loves us the way we need to be, not the way we want to be loved. The way we need to be loved. Some need to be loved roughly. Some need to be loved kindly. But you have to decipher those traits. You know, even though I was loving you, you still felt that emptiness. You know.
Yeah, because you were touching around and touching upon areas, but never touching the area that I needed you to touch.
Yeah.
You know, I come from a broken home, broken family. My parents divorced when I was young. My father committed suicide when I was 17. My stepdad walked out shortly after. And so my image of men was very skewed. And so I had to learn how to trust men and how to really be able to give myself to man, because in the back of my mind, my thought process has been, all men are going to do is they're going to be here temporarily and then they're going to leave. Leaving didn't matter if you die or you walk away. It was a temporary thing and you weren't going to be there permanently. That caused issues for me in my first marriage, and it caused some issues for me with William because I didn't give myself totally, you know. And so for anybody that's been in a relationship prior to getting married, or you've been divorced before, I would really encourage you to be healed, to walk through that healing and to be restored. Because what we do is we go from relationship to relationship carrying that baggage from our past, baggage from past relationships, and you bring that over into relationships and you cause so many issues that you don't have to cause. I remember when William and I first got married, we have two different instances where hey, I was ready, y'all. I had them bowled up. I hadn't got my stance, and I was finna go toe to toe with him because he hit a trigger and he thought it was funny. It was not. But it took me from 0 to 100 real quick. And then I did something with him that triggered him, and he looked at me, but he didn't see me. He called me by someone else's name. And I looked at him in the sense of, did you really just call me by another woman's name? But I knew that I hit something at that moment that was not a right. The issue wasn't a me and him issue. It was something he had dealt with before.
And the crazy thing is, that woman and I, we broke up May the 8th. and Nikki and I, we married December the 22nd. We met November the 9th, the 6th. I proposed the 9th. We were married on December 22nd. And around March or April, uh no, that was on 26. That was
I'm not sure. Somebody had
That was-
passed away, and we were coming from a funeral or something.
mm,
We're driving in the car, and I said something that triggered.
yeah, that was a
And-
year after we got married.
I was like, as I sipped my tea.
So that was almost 2 years after my ex and I we broke up. So I didn't even know and realize I was still broken. I was still hurt.
Ooh, that word right there. That word right there.
You know, didn't know I was still hurt and broken because nobody ever took me there. But that day when you say what you said and then just smirked, it took me there because that's what she used to do. And I look at you, I know you were driving, and I call you by the name, you pulled over, and you like, and I don't even realize what just transpired.
Like, what's going on here?
But this is the issue, you know. And when you're broken like that, your communication comes from deep, comes from a broken place. So when it comes out, if you are a poor communicator like I was, because being a talker, that doesn't mean you're a communicator. Because the first trait of communication that I've learned was listening. I was not a listener. Unless you held a place of authority, but I was not a listener. And here in marriage and relationship, where I never been taught how to be a leader, how to be a husband, a spouse, I thought what I say is final. I thought I was the alpha and the omega in the relationship. I was the only one decided of everything. Like, I would ask the question and answer the question, and we go.
While I'm looking at him like, boy, that.
Especially with a Black American woman.
But you know, guys, we share all of these things with you so that you are educated, that you are informed, that you don't make rash decisions and do things that will hurt and harm you, so that you don't get in relationships that's going to cause issues for you down the line. We don't want you to get in a relationship and then divorce. We don't want you to get in a relationship and have to go through things that's irrelevant. You know, so we do this. William and I, we have our coaching business, and we are here for you. We're here to coach you. We're here to consult you. If you just need to be consulted, you got a couple of questions, and you know you're doing some things, but you're just like, well, I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Reach out to William and I so that we can help you navigate this journey. It is not it's not shameful to reach out and ask for help. There were many times that I reached out to my mentor. I went to my pastors. I went to sisters and brothers that have went through these things, and I asked questions. I had them to pray for me and to help me to walk through this journey, because guys, it's hard. It's hard, especially if you don't know how to navigate it. But William and I, we have our coaching program. We're actually going to open our registration for 2024. Well, it'll be coming soon, right after right after Thanksgiving. We'll be opening enrollment for 2024. So if you are ready to be coached, if you are ready to change your life, if you're ready to be empowered and to be equipped for the next phase, for that engagement, for that marriage, please reach out to William or myself, so that you can get enrolled for that program. We're going to have some awesome Black Friday deals coming up. We got William, did you tell him?
No. not
Did
yet.
you tell him, William?
No.
You didn't tell him?
No.
We finished our journal. 30-day couples devotional for you to walk through together. And you say, well, Nikki, I'm not married yet. It don't matter. It's a great tool because you have God's perspective, you have your husband's perspective, and you have the wife's perspective.
I don't know if I can see it.
We'll put the link in the there we go.
Yeah.
We'll put the link in the chat so that you guys can go. It's available on Amazon. It's $10. You can go ahead on and get your order today. We're going to have the digital copy available soon. But you know, when I tell you this tool here is going to help you decide, it's going to help you make decisions, it's going to help you be clear on what it is you want up the road. What you're looking for. Men, this is when I say it got some stuff in here for y'all. Men, it got some stuff in here for y'all, my brothers. This will equip you to be the husband that you need to be. You need to get it today. Order it today. I'm so excited. We worked truly, truly hard on this. We're going to actually purpose one for singles only, but until we get it done, get that one.
You really don't want to, have that trend pass by you without you jumping in.
Yes.
Because this is 8 to almost 9 years of research, of studying, of working on seeking God for answers, for knowledge, for revelation. And I guarantee you guys, this is not things that we copycat unless we did it from God.
I would say copying off of the Lord.
But this is really things that we've been applying in our own life and their work. I would have not been the man that I'm today, the humble man that I'm today, unless God revealed it to me. And I had to understand it's not about Nikia. I'm going to say this. I know we've been programmed to think in relationship, the best way to live is to remove expectations. Let me tell you the truth. This is not real. It's not accurate. When you marry somebody, you have to expect something. But this is the right way to expect anything out of anybody. You have to plant a seed.
All right.
Okay. In order for me to expect the love from my wife, I have to love her. In order for me to expect submission from her, I have to submit to God. In order for me to demand, ask anything to my wife or from her, I have to make sure I fill the tank. Okay? Anybody who come and tell you otherwise, okay, do not listen to him. He is not a keeper. He is not a sower. The sower sow a seed and expect that seed to grow. Period. Only the farmer who has a seed and sown it expect the rain. Anyone else would tell you, don't expect it to rain. You know why? Because he never planted the seed and never worked the land. I do work the land.
And so you should expect a harvest.
I should expect a harvest. What should I? But that's what people always did. Oh, you shouldn't expect anything from one another. No. Even Jesus said, do not expect anything from one, except the love. If I plan to love, I expect to love. I have my virtual mentor called Les Brown. This is what he always said. He said the wife is like an incubator. Okay? If you want a good meal, give her grocery. If you want children, give her a seed. If you want a home, give her a house, because she always multiply. But if you want a war, you want a cheating, you want all kinds of craziness, chaos, give nothing and start a complaint. I guarantee you, you get it double. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. When I was struggling, early in our marriage, I had to go and talk to my mentor, John Crosby. Don't worry, guys. He gave me the right to use his name. Okay. And he knows he would get royalty. So he has a way of managing his home. And you heard me using the word manage. Most men don't get because they are not managers. Most Christian men pray for wives and never get because they are not managers. So I've learned being close to that man, John Crosby. I've learned how to be a manager. I've learned how to be a husband. And he has what I called, the JC Water concept, John Crosby Water concept. He always said, I'm like water. Whatever state you put me, I'm from that state. I was just like, he said, well, I have African children, so I'm African as well. Crazy. With his wife, that man, looking at his wife, he knows. When I say he knows exactly what is the thought process in her mind.
Well, they've been married for 30 years.
Yes.
Knowing each other 30 years.
What will be next? And we didn't have to be 30 years married. When you're around somebody who's been there longer, you just pick what he got, the wisdom, the knowledge, and wisdom and knowledge, when you put them together, bring revelation. So I look and say, I used to complain about the way you do things because I was comparing you to my mother and my sisters, which was wrong. I didn't give you anything, but I was complaining about everything that you gave me.
So in your singleness and your preparation of engagement and you preparing to be a husband or a wife, that's one thing you don't do. Don't compare one another. Don't even create that environment.
Nope.
Because it sets you up. A person think that they will think that they're less than, or then you get people that throw their guards up and they have to be on the defense. Women going to be very defensive because we're emotional beings. So you touch our feelings when you do that to us. So be mindful of not comparing and not putting or making the value of this and that the same, because it's not.
Oh, they're not.
They're not. So we're gonna wrap it up here and then we can go there. Okay. But we're gonna wrap it up here on YouTube, and we're gonna go over to TikTok. So if you follow Impacting Lives Coaching on TikTok, go over to TikTok because we're finna go on there. We're gonna stay on there for a little while longer, but we're gonna wrap it up here. If you guys are not following us, please follow our pages. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube. But we want you to know that we are here for you. We are here to help couples to rediscover who they are as individuals. And that to me is the most important thing. William needs to know who William is, and Nakia needs to know who she is. Because if we both know who we are, we can do this thing 100. If he only know 50% of himself, and I only bring 50% of myself, we only operating at 50%.
Yeah, this is not because 50% plus 50% doesn't make 100%.
It's 50 and 50.
50%.
We're not at 100.
Okay, because the goal is to be one. Okay, the goal is to be one, not two, one. And I would say this: if you guys have not purchased our the 30-day devotional yet, please type type amen in the comment section. Type amen, and we will
We get
send
the
you
link to
guys
you.
the link to go get it. It's an amazing book, 30 days devotional that you guys need to have. Whether you are single, you are engaged, you are married, don't matter. What matters
Whatever
is
state
you
you're in.
will discover who you are. And if you've been married a long time ago, often for a long time, you will find out that you've been doing a lot of things the wrong way. Anytime God is not in it, it's not God's way. So,
well, we love you guys, and you have a blessed night.